Okay, in this quick video, I'm going to show you how to execute code that's in different Python files. So I've got a Python project open, so obviously you need a Python project open to do this. And I've got this code that prints hello, and that's in a file called python test.py. But I want to run that code from a different Python file, which I've got this one here, new code.py. So I want to run that other code that's in a different file. So really, in order to do this, I need to wrap this code up because it's just raw Python code there. I need to wrap it in a function. So I'm just going to place this in a function. So I'm going to say def, and I'm going to call this the welcome function. So just a standard way of creating a function, put def, name of the function, parentheses, and then a colon to say, right, now we've got a block starting. I need the print to be indented, so I just moved it up to that line. And so that's now legal Python code. So that's created a function in Python test. Now I'm going to go back to new code. In order to use that, I need to import it. So I need to say import Python test, and you see that the IntelliSense very nicely knows that Python test exists. So I just put that in. So that's telling Python that I want to make use of something that's in another file. That's all the import's doing for me. And then to use that, what I do is I put the name of the import, and there are ways, and I'll show you quickly how you can simplify this, but I like to leave it like this. So I put the name of the module. That's how we treat these separate files. So Python test, and then if I put dot, it'll show me the functions that are in the module. Well, there's only one at the minute, and it's welcome. So I just say Python test dot welcome. So what that actually does, when it executes this code, it looks in that module, finds the function called welcome, executes it, and then our code executes straight after this new code test. So it's no more complicated than that. So let's just run that and make sure it works. There you go. So it does the hello and it says new code test. One thing that you will fall foul of is if you've got spaces in your names. So if I'd have had Python space test, that would have been a problem. You can easily right click on something and rename it, but it's probably best to get it right at the start rather than messing about later on, because that can break all your code. Okay, so probably a good idea. So if I was to call that Python mod 1, as in module 1, see, that breaks that code. So it was called Python test. So let's put that back to Python test. So you need to make sure you name things correctly at the start, basically. So just get into the habit of using Pascal casing, which is what this is, where you start each word with a capital letter, or use camel casing, where you start with a lowercase letter and then capitalize every other word, because you want to be able to read it still, but that gets around having to have spaces. Okay, and the other thing you can do, so that's basically how you set it up, but you can, that's whining at me now. Let's just run it, make sure it works. F5. It's because I changed the name probably and it didn't like it. We can just put as at the end, and you could call it PT, and then instead of Python test, oops, silly keyboard. Instead of Python test, what you can do is you can use PT. It's called an alias, so it makes it shorter. Sometimes your file names might be massive and you don't want to have to keep typing the file name. But if your file names are nice and self-documenting, then really you shouldn't need to do the aliasing. It's only when you want to like keep things short. So I'm going to put that back to Python test. Okay, just make sure it runs, and then that's the end of the video. It's as simple as that.